Remember when you were small, maybe in class 1 or 2? You and your best friend wanted to visit each other's homes. To help your friend find your house, you'd draw a simple map. You'd start with his house, then draw the road and some places you both knew, like a shop or park. At the end, you'd draw your house. That little drawing was actually your first map. But now, you are older, so let's make the map more interesting. Imagine you've just arrived in a small city and you have a map of the area in front of you. Your goal is to find the bank. You begin at the railway station. Which way would you go? You might go this way, from railway station to hospital, then straight to the bank. But are there other possible ways? Yes, there are many ways to reach the bank, say. Now, can you locate the public garden, the school and the museum? See the map closely. Yes, here they are. Now, what if you want to proceed from the bank to the market? Which way will you go? Well, see the map, there are many possible ways, but we will take the shortest way. Which one is it? Yes, this one. So, what exactly is this map we are using? A map is a special drawing that shows us a specific area, whether it's a small town, a big city, or even an entire country. When you look at a map, it's like seeing the world from above. Maps can be categorized into 3 different types based on the kind of information they present. Let's explore some of these types. Physical maps. These maps show natural features such as mountains, rivers, and oceans. For example, when you look at a physical map, you can see the Himalayas, the Ganges River, or the Thar Desert, all of which are key physical features of India. Political maps. Political maps are all about borders and places where people live. They highlight the boundaries between countries, states, and cities. For example, if you look at a political map of India, you'll see all the states, union territories, and their capitals clearly marked. Thematic maps. Thematic maps show specific kinds of information, such as climate, population distribution, or economic activities. For example, if you're curious about which parts of India get the most rainfall, a thematic map on rainfall distribution will show you exactly that. Now that we've discussed the different types of maps, let's delve into the 3 key components that every map must have: distance, direction, and symbols. Have you ever wondered how a vast area can be represented on a small piece of paper? This is made possible through the concept of scale. The scale of a map is a ratio that indicates the relationship between distances on the map and their corresponding distances on the ground. For example, if a map scale reads 1 centimeter is equal to 500 meters, it means that each centimeter on the map equals to 500 meters in reality. A map of India might use a scale where 1 centimeter represents 300 kilometers. The scale is important because it helps us understand the actual distances between places. Now, another important component in a map is direction. The 4 main directions, north, east, south, and west, are known as cardinal points. Most maps will have an arrow marked with an N to indicate the north direction, and from there, you can determine the other directions. Like on the left will be west, on the right will be east, and at the bottom of north will be south. In addition to cardinal directions, maps often use intermediate directions such as northeast, NE, southeast, SE, southwest, SW, and northwest, NW, to provide more precise navigation. Now, let's learn about symbols. Come back to the map of this small city. Can you see how, instead of writing just words, we are using pictures or symbols of places like hospital and market? Maps use symbols to represent various features and landmarks. For example, a small picture of a building on a map might represent a school, a hospital, or a post office. Symbols are essential because they allow maps to convey detailed information in a small space. Instead of drawing every detail, mapmakers use standardized symbols to represent different types of buildings, roads, and natural features like rivers or forests. In India, for example, the Survey of India has created this set of symbols that are used on all official maps, so no matter where you are in the country, you can read the map easily. In this lesson, we've explored and learnt about maps. Let's recap the key points we've learned. Definition of maps. Maps are special drawings that represent specific areas from top view. Types of maps. Physical maps show natural features like mountains and rivers. Political maps display borders, countries, states, and cities. Thematic maps focus on specific information like climate or population. Key components of maps. Distance and scale. Scale shows the relationship between map distances and real-world distances. Direction uses cardinal points, north, east, south, west, and intermediate directions. Symbols represent various features and landmarks. Remember, maps are powerful tools that help us understand and navigate our world, from finding a friend's house to exploring entire countries. We hope that you have understood the chapter Locating Places on Earth. Now, here's a secret on how you can study effectively with the EduRev app. You can learn with chapter notes, watch video lectures and solve NCERT-based MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev, and that's not all. You also get amazing courses for Class 6 and much more for your Class 6 preparation. Thank you.